Hello, everybody. I could say good morning, or good afternoon, or good night for some of you. It depends on the hour. But we're here to say to you that FIVB is improving very, very quickly. So we professionalize everything. And I'd like to tell you the importance of your representation in our beach volleyball tournament. You must understand the supervisor, you are me there. But we're changing our mentality. Now, we are not doing the same we did in the past, that everybody hates. You are not a dictator. You're a man that should be in the court to help the players, to help the promoters, to help press, to take care of everything. But to be respected, you don't need to be bad. You don't need to shout. No. If you respect everybody, if you respect the players, for sure they will respect you. I have no doubt about that. It's a change in mentality. It's not because you're the law, you're going to impose the things to the others. It's much more easy to convince people of what we want, what FIVB wants, and what you want in that moment, because the moments sometimes change. And for the referees, supervisors, you know perfectly the new mentality that you're implementing now. Please, you're competent. You know how to do your job. You have to ask to the referees not to be arrogant with the players. You don't need to be arrogant. That's what I said to the others. If you respect them, they will respect you. Don't need to be a police. No, you're part of the game. You're like an athlete. But in that moment, you're the one who put some order and respect the rules in that and make the rules be respected by the players. So, the message is, do your job without any arrogance, because the arrogance is exactly what the athletes hate. I'm saying that because I used to be an athlete for many years, and I didn't stop yet. The players can admit, can listen to the referees, but you don't need to be arrogant. This is very important, in big difference from the past. That's why we're now another FIVB. Just so you know, our budget is the double in 6 years. And it will be triple. We have the sustainability for the next 5 years. If I leave today, I guarantee FIVB for the next 5 years. Without any kind of arrogance, our Congress was fantastic, smoothly. No problems at all. I think that it was the first Congress that had no problem at all. Why? Because we know that we are colleagues. I cannot treat you like an employee because you're not an employee. I'm not the boss. We are together doing something good for volleyball. We love volleyball. You love volleyball. So I'm quite sure that you're going to have an excellent result, an excellent tournament World Tour for the next 2 years. And this year starts the Olympics. qualification. So it's very important, your participation. You're there, as I said before, to protect the players, to let them calm, to transmit that you are calm, that you respect, and they will be calm and play. They are going to do their job. You do your job, they do their job. So I'm speaking from a sportman from another sportman. We know, I've been there, I came from the court, and for the referees that listen, I can tell you that I have the course of referee because I thought it was very important to have it, so I can talk to you. And I was very well graduated. But let's go to make the World Tour a big success, more than it is today. Okay, people. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you.
Hello everyone. After this nice speech from the FIVB president, I want to say that this webinar meeting will be done with three parts. The first part is general overview. Then we are going to talk about the beach volleyball structure, calendar, and so on. We have several points. Then we are going to have one moment, 10 minutes for questions put by you. And then one second part, practical informations. Then we are going to talk about the role of the technical delegates, the master plan, the organization of 1- and 2-star tournaments. Then we have a new period of 10 minutes to questions, and then we are going to have the one third part for the referee delegates. And at the end, we are going to close this meeting. I hope that this way meeting will be fruitful, and we can, with this meeting, clarify all the questions that we can put. Then Mr. Yu Chao go to talk with you about the beach volleyball department structure and responsibilities. Okay?
This doesn't feel that.
Hello everyone. Once again, welcome to the webinar. I already say welcome to all of you through the typing earlier, and now it's officially to welcome you once again after the speech from the president and also from Vincenti. So, as you know, the FIVB has setting the goal to be the #1 family sport in the world, and we are trying to achieve that through the technology innovations. And today's webinar is already part of that. As you can see, also many council meeting and commission meeting within the FIVB will be through the online solutions, will be through the webinar, through the conference call, and we'll also continue to implement that through our constant communication as well. To start today's webinar, I want to start to show you a video to share with you what FIVB has been achieved in the last years. So if we can, we will have the video start.
Same town, trying to find something new. Broken picture frame, I've been frozen in, trying to find a better view. This ain't me, this ain't cool, this ain't what I signed up to. This ain't right, it's no good, no good. Oh, everything is changing, and I've been here for too long, going through the same things. I've been hurt and done wrong. Move on, say I can't do this anymore. If everything is changing, then I know, yeah, gotta let go. Same hand, how you'll find something new. I can't work it out what it's all about. I won't live my life through you. This ain't real, this ain't true, this ain't what I signed up to. This ain't right, it's no good, no good. Oh, everything is changing, and I've been here for too long, going through the same things. I've been hurt and done wrong. I've been here for too long. I've been here for too long. I've been here for too long. Everything is changing.
Finished. Okay, so in order to start the webinar, please allow me to share with you a brief introduction of our purpose of the webinar today. It also serves as a general guideline for all these technical delegate and referee delegates to the guideline to respect for your next season. As President already said, the show starts. The Olympic game qualification already starts from the 1st of September this year, and next year will be a busy calendar. As you can see, we have over 50 events, and more events are going to join later in the year to be further confirmed by CEV for this 1-star and 2-star organized in Europe. So my first, as a part of the general introduction, my first point is, who do we work for? Of course, the answer is very simple. For all the stakeholders. And who are our stakeholders? So I want to re-emphasize again, number one is the player. We have to make sure that the consistent quality are provided for all the events for our players. This means that the field of play setup, the sand quality, and also the training session should be available earlier enough for the players, the transportation and the accommodation and the meals. We have several cases, unfortunately, this year that we are not able to deliver a success preparation by the organizers, and this actually caused not only the complaints but also the preparation for the athletes to be ready for the coming Olympic qualifications. So in any cases, players should be the number one among our consideration and is our priority. Number two, of course, you need to work for the FIVB. The FIVB is the governing body of the sport in the world, and we have also a few cases in this season that the FIVB was not informed of any key decision making on site. So as a principle, FIVB must be informed for any potential changes. For example, the change of competition schedule. If you move the matches for the next days, of course, due to the time constraint, you can make the decision on site, but make sure the FIVB is informed, because we are also receiving questions from the other delegations, the participating national federation, and also our stakeholders on site. We have to speak the same language, stay on the same page. And also for any other cases, that controversy cases that can cause for PR solutions. I mean, some statement from the players in front of the media, or any doping positive cases that will be checked on site. All those the FIVB here in Lausanne will work closely to provide you with available tools that we communicate the same message. I take example for one case this year in Tokyo. There was actually concerns from the media and especially even from the IOC regarding the extreme heat, because their concern is also for the Olympic Games. We work together with our Tokyo Delegate, together with our media delegate, to prepare the same scripts that we announce to the world, especially to the world media, the same message. So make sure that as FIVB delegates, the FIVB are informed of all key issues that you will encounter on site. Of course, the third one, stakeholders, without any doubt, will be the organizer and the promoters. I think most of you has already done a good job. As President Ari just mentioned, we are not dictators. You are not policemen. You are there to help them, to make sure the event is held in line with FIVB sports regulation and handbook. And please continue to do that. The only thing is, I want to give you a reminder is please stay neutral. I mean, especially stay neutral to do the good things for the players, but not only for the promoters, because promoters are businessmen. Of course, they care about the players, they care about sport, but in some cases, they also care about their investments. So there's a certain bottom line that you need to respect as FIVB delegates, and you have to make sure that such respect has to be consistent for all the FIVB events. So that's all for the first point. The second point is how do we improve? So by this, I want to talk two separate sub-points. One is how do we improve for the FIVB World Tour? As you were in the event, you know that the quality or the image of the beach volleyball in all the World Tour are not consistent. Not even to mention that it's not consistent between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 star, but also not consistent sometimes within the same categories. We might see something different. We will see a packed stadium in Itapema, Brazil. Then you probably will end up to see an empty stadium in another 4-star during the working days as well. So how can we do? We need to, the focus for our next season is to have a quality over quantities. And we have a few change of procedures and also a detailed procedure that we'll talk about it later in our webinar today through with our other colleagues that will also share their the measurements and also the guidelines to be followed. And then the other point I want to mention here is how do you improve as a technical delegate and a referee delegate. From my perspective, will enhance evaluation and also will enhance the communication channel with you to know where is your strengths and weakness. As you know that we already start the evaluation through the promoter and organizers. So they will actually feed us back with their comments to you to where are the areas to be improved. Furthermore, for next season, we want to have your self-evaluation as well. So you have to examine yourself what can be further improved by your doings on site. And taking that into consideration also to share with other supervisors as well. Unofficially, we will also have other channels to get information from the coaches, from the players, from other stakeholders like our sponsors, Mikasa, Sports Reader, to say whether our delegates on site are doing a correct jobs. And we will actually counter-propose to you the areas to be improved. Our goal is to have a very strong team that can work in any categories in Olympic Games, in any level of competition, to make sure they deliver the same quality and ensure that they implement the same regulation and rules. The next one is what is our main goal? Of course, as I mentioned, we want to deliver the success for all the 5-star categories. We cannot only have success at 5-star and 4-star and forget about 1-star to 3-star, which are served perfectly for the development purpose. And by doing that, as I mentioned once again, our policy for next season is quality over quantities. And please also feed us back with any improvements you think the FIVB should change or our stakeholders should change during the season times. Jumping to the next one is what is the next steps? Working together. As you already aware that starting from this season, with a good cooperation with CEV, all the European beach volleyball events, except for their European Championship, has been transformed to the 1-star or 2-star. We will continue to work closely with CEV on that aspect. So CEV for next season will continue to manage 1-star and 2-star organized in Europe according to the FIVB sports regulation and handbooks. And furthermore, we will further empower other confederation currently is AVC and CSV for the 1-star and 2-star organized in Asia and South America to be managed by the respective confederations. Of course, it's not an easy job. It's challenging, which definitely everyone can also feel why it is challenging, because not all the confederations are managing in the same way. So we are trying to align the same guidelines according to the FIVB regulation handbooks for sure, and to have the same approach, and also to educate the staff at each confederation to improve the quality of those 1-star and 2-star as well. So for Asia, AVC and the CSV will be in the shadow programs with us until next April or May, until the FIVB feel is comfortable, and also they feel comfortable they can manage, they can fly solo and manage the 1-star and 2-star organized in their territory on their own. And and regarding the CEV, they will continue to manage 1-star and 2-star in Europe, and they will also have customized branding kit. And regarding the assignment of the technical delegates in Europe, the FIVB will work closely with CEV. So basically, the nomination will based on the FIVB approval on the CEV nominations. So we will address that specific issue regarding the main differences between the 1-star and 2-star organized in Europe. In the end of the part 2, we have a dedicated point to address all the differences, and I will go through with you by that times. And also by working together, I want to emphasize once again, and I think it has already been achieved, is working together between you on site as TD and RD, and also between you after the event through our TS summary report, and also through our collaborate platforms for the future supervisors to notice the major points that already happened in the previous events. So let's continue to do that. Okay, that's the end of my presentation. Once again, let's work together, stand up for the quality over quantities to ensure that the pyramid of our World 2 structure will be realized. That we will have our pro events from 4-star above, and we'll have a transition event from 3-star below, and we will create a bridge between the pro and transition events. So I will move on to the next one, and Lara will continue with the structure and responsibilities in a few minutes. So we will so stay attuned for online. So talking about structure, as you can see from the slides here, Vincenti is the president of the Beach Commission, and starting from April 2017, FIVB creates a new events business department headed by Angelo and together with Katia, and they are responsible for the calendar. And also they are actually traveling extensively to meet the organizer, National Federation, to find these events for the World 2. And for the beach volleyball, we stay the same, and we'll keep doing what we have been doing in the past years. Now we are with 5 people, and the 6 people will join us shortly early next year with a new intern. So that further information will be shared by Lara.
Hello to everyone who is watching this first live webinar. And just a quick information before I start. As you can see on your screen, on the right-hand side, you are able to type any questions or chat. Obviously, at the end of this session, we'll collect all the questions and get back to you. So I'd like to tell you a little more about the beach volleyball department team, as some of you might not have met everyone yet. The general structure of the department is normally 6 people, and we are currently 5 in the department. So I have to say, it has been a very challenging year for us, but the team has done an excellent job. We're currently in the process of recruiting a junior project manager, as well as an intern to help us out during the heavy season. Now, as you can see, we've got a very multicultural team, and together we speak over 8 languages. So it's pretty impressive, I have to say. Yu Chao, I believe you all know him. So with his great knowledge and expertise, he provides us great guidance with regarding sports, technical matters, as well as event management. Regarding responsibilities, all team members take care of events. And on top of this, they all have their own projects to manage. Rahel, who has now been working for 3.5 years at the FIVB, will take care next year of the 5-star majors, the World Championships, and the Under-21 World Championships. She's also the person responsible for the world ranking and point calculation. And if you have a sports regulation question, she can help you. Leo joined our department in 2017, and on top of managing events, he takes care of athletes and coaches' relations, refereeing matters, as well as competition matters. Just like Rahel, if you have a sports regulation question, you can ask him too. Yosuke joined the team earlier this year, and in addition to taking care of 1- and 2-star event management, Yosuke will be a key person in managing the Olympic Games for Tokyo 2020. He is also the go-to person for any branding-related question you may have. Lastly, I take care of the planning and the human resources of the department. I also oversee the World Tour 3- to 5-star master plan. And if you have a question about your assignment, you can always ask me too. The new person we are recruiting will be taking care of logistics and technology matters on top of World Tour events. You have our email addresses on the slide. If you're not sure who to address a question to, you can email worldtour@fivb.org. Moving on now to the calendar and the assignments for 2019. The 2018-19 season will feature over 50 events, the World Championships, the Under-21 World Championships, the Olympic qualification tournament, as well as multi-sport games. So the goal with this new star structure system that was put into place back in 2017 was to grow the number of events and to empower the confederations to manage the 1- and 2-star events. CEV has already done this in 2018 and has done an excellent job. Therefore, this year we will start transferring the knowledge to CSV and AVC as well. It is definitely going to be an intense season, and as Yu Chao was mentioning, we will really need your help in order to deliver quality events. Now, concerning the assignments, for 1 and 2 stars in Europe, CEV will share with us their nomination and we will endorse them. For the other 1 and 2 star events, we will follow the normal nomination process through us directly. On the next slides, you will find details about who is assigned to which event and who is the responsible person from the department taking care of that event. In 2019, we will have 3 5-star majors. Fort Lauderdale, Gstaad, and Vienna will be back. As mentioned previously, Rahel will be the main point of contact for these majors. A new aspect that we are introducing in 2019 is the department staff going on site as technical delegates to some of the events. The goal is to gain further experience on the field and to be able to come back to the office and find ways to improve our job. This is also in line with the FIVB strategy and has been done by Volleyball this year as well. Therefore, Yosuke will be attending the Gstaad 5-star event as assistant technical delegate, and Rahel will be technical delegate in Vienna. The 4 stars, so there will be an impressive amount of 4-star, 13 in total, compared to 8 in 2018. Yangzhou and Las Vegas were already staged this October. Some cities are coming back, like Ostrava, Warsaw, Espinho, Itapema, but we also have events that have been upgraded compared to this year. For instance, Xinjiang was a 2-star in 2018 and will now become a 4-star. Tokyo was a 3-star and has now been upgraded to a 4-star and will also serve as the test events in view of the Olympic Games. We might also have a new 4-star in LA. However, the status of this event is pending until December 14th, when we will know more. Finally, Leo from our team will be acting as technical delegate in Ostrava next year. There will be a total of 7 3-star events for the season. Kinzu and Chetumal already took place in October. Sydney was a 2-star in 2018 and has now been upgraded to a 3-star. And we also see new cities hosting events, such as Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, Edmonton in Canada, Chetumal in Mexico. Actually, Chetumal was an immense success last October as well. Texas and Florida are still to be confirmed, and we will know their status, just like LA, by December 14th. Regarding the 2 stars, we will have a total of 7. Zhongwei was already staged in September. So Cambodia, who hosted one event this year, will now be hosting 4 events in total, which is pretty impressive. Nanjing and Antong will be staging 2-star events for the 3rd time in a row. And finally, Qidong will be hosting for the first time an FIVB tournament. CV might also be adding new events at a later stage. Moving on to the 1-stars, we will have over 20 events held for the 2018-2019 season, which is very impressive. Furthermore, CV will also be adding some 1-stars later on in the season. 6 events already took place: Siofok, Montpellier, 3 events in Iran, plus Ljubljana. Thanks to this new star structure that opens up the possibilities for the organizers to stage FIVB World Tour events, we are also seeing some new countries staging tournaments, such as Rwanda, and new cities as well, such as Malbork in Poland and Salalah in Oman. In addition to the World Tour, in 2019, we will also have the Senior World Championships in Hamburg and the Under-21 World Championships in Thailand. There will also be the Olympic qualification tournament held in September in China for both men and women. Also in September, we will host the World Tour Finals in Rome, Italy. This event will, however, award ranking points, and we are currently still in the process of discussing the exact competition format in order not to impact the Olympic qualification. We will provide more information soon about this special event that will be closing the season. Finally, beach volleyball will also be part of multi-sport games, such as the Mediterranean Games in Greece and the World Beach Games in San Diego that will be held in October. Now, a bit of practical information for you. Regarding the overall assignments per category, there will be no changes compared to 2018, as you can see on this slide. The per diem will be paid prior to the event, and you will receive your A6 uniform either at home or at the first events where you are assigned to. It will be based on your size featured in the VIS, so please make sure this is up to date. The uniforms for the referees will be shipped directly to the events, just like this year. And we will send a mix of sizes. So we kindly ask you to inform the referees that they need to be just a little bit flexible in case their size is not available at the first event. They could maybe also bring their uniform from this year just in case. So we just ask for a little bit of flexibility, especially for the couple of first events. So lastly, please make sure you validate your assignments on the VIS and update your size accordingly, as we will be proceeding quite shortly with the distribution of uniforms. For 1 and 2 stars in Europe, per diem will follow CEV's process, and CEV will also be sharing the uniforms with the CEV technical delegates directly. Thank you for your attention, and we are now going to continue the presentation with the sport regulation key changes.
Hello everyone, I'm Leo Moraes and I'm a project manager here at the Beach Volleyball Department, and I'm here to talk to you about the key changes in the sports regulation for this upcoming season. In general, we don't have too many changes in the sports regulation as this is an Olympic qualification period. Our aim is to keep the changes to the minimum during this period. I also like to mention to you guys that according to the 2018 Congress, it was decided to limit the medical timeout to only cover blood-related injuries. We're now currently working with the Rules of the Game Commission and the Medical Commission to structure this rule and the process to be applied in case of other injuries. Once this is approved by the Rules of the Game Commission, we will publish all necessary information and make it available for everyone. Also, I would like to add, thanks to the help of our colleagues and external stakeholders, we collected several interesting proposals that I will touch base at the end of this presentation. On screen here, you will now see that these are the 9 key changes of the sports regulation. The first change is the policy for organizing events with the NF. It's approved by the Board of Administration in May 2018 that any national federation that organizes a World Tour event will now be eligible to receive 1 vacancy in the related star event. This means that if a NF organizes an event, a 3-star event, they will be able to get a vacancy for an event that they don't qualify to by entry points, okay? And this policy does not apply for countries that already have a team in the event, and we also have already started the implementation already this season. The second change is the updating of the ranking points. We have now in 2019 the World Championships being held in Germany, and given that, we actually added the points breakdown in our sports regulation, as you can see up in your screen. This breakdown is the same one that we had for the 2017 World Championships, and it follows the same 10% breakdown across the ranking. And you will see on the corner of your screen that we also have the ranking points already applied with the 5-star system and the underage World Championships. And for those technical delegates that are assigned to the World Champs, please make sure that the correct ranking is applied on site. For another change in the regulation, we now have the injury points. We've taken out from the regulation the 6 months period out of the text. Now, in case of injury, the athlete must submit a medical certificate and not be able to play for a minimum of 4 months. As the current World Tour season is long and with many events all year round, the World Tour doesn't have a big gap between seasons anymore. Therefore, to apply for the injury points, the athlete must wait a minimum of 4 months. Another injury point that we adapted in the regulations is the time frame to apply for the injury points calculation. Before, we had a minimum of 60 days before an event. Now we reduced that to 30 days before the event. So in case an athlete wants to apply, he only needs to wait until 30 days before the given event to submit his injury points calculation request. Another point is the maternity points. Now to apply for the maternity points, the NF must submit the birth certificate of the athlete's child with a minimum of 30 days before the event. Before, the text stated 60, but now given a 30 days notice, the athlete, the mother, can evaluate better when to return to competition. Another adaptation that we had was the time between entry points. So now, from now on, this is not a change, but a practical operation on site. And we would like to have your help with that on site because in many events, we receive complaints from the athletes and coaches that the draw took too long and the teams did not receive their information on time. So, sorry. Yes, so sorry about that. So coming back to the time between the first and the second phase, the players have expressed their desires to have adequate preparation time after knowing their matchups for the single elimination round. So in the regulation, it states that the elimination cannot be earlier than 90 minutes, but we're putting a recommendation to have at least 120 to 150 minutes if the condition and the schedule allows it. So we ask for your help in that case to ensure that the drawing of lots goes on smoothly. And I have 2 tips for you to try to make it go faster. One tip would be to prepare the draw before the end of the round, meaning take the information you already have, see where the teams might fall so you can get a head start on your planning. And the other one, which I will talk more about it in my next presentation, is a suggestion of a true drawing of lots in the event. And I will talk about that a little later. For our next change would be the first phase second round matches. And we actually added a point on the regulation that whenever possible, the second round matches should be played with the winners first and then the losers round. The rationale there is to give the winners more time in preparation to get ready for their second phase matches. Another one is the second drawing of lots, like I mentioned before. If the second phase drawing of lots, if a team is tied with other teams in the same ranking after pool play, a drawing of lots will be carried out between the teams that are still tied to establish their place in the drawing. So if there is such a case in one of your events, please verify that the rally point ratio is correct and coordinate the draw with the LOC, and please request the presence of the team that are tied so they can see the draw. Now, for the 2-star events with 16 teams, in case we have a special event with special condition as a 2-star event with 16 teams in the main draw, we would like your help on site to make sure that all regulations follow the 1-star event regulation. All the point system and the prize money distribution for the special 2-star event will be with the 1-star regulation. And all the relevant information, such as ranking points, prize money, will be communicated to everyone to the BVB 06 Pacific Competition regulations. And now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, we had the contribution from a lot of externals, and we are actually taking these proposals forward into the Beach Commission for their evaluation. And some of the points you'll see on your screen are maternity points, 100%. So upon return, the mother will have 100% of their points back instead of the current breakdown. There also is the 2-star in the 2-star second phase is proposed to have all third place teams advancing to the second round instead of the current format with less teams. Also, we have the late withdrawal points that our current regulation states that we take away 0 points for the athlete. We want to abolish that rule and not have any point repercussion for the late withdrawals. The wild card is the proposal to allocate wild cards to the host countries that are not included in a max quota. So they would be able to get another one, but only if it does not impact the Olympic qualification. And lastly, we have this 2-star event ranking points that it was proposed that in case a 2-star event is organized in the same week of a 4 or 5-star, the FIVB ranking point for the teams from the confederation where the event is played in will only be calculated for entry and seeding purpose if these points are beneficial.
Technical delegates understand that this is a very important section of our seminar, and then please understand you are required to check all the aspects of the requirement once you arrive on site. So as you can see on the screen, I have listed out 3 different points, starting from handbook updates, and second point would be branding kit, and third point would be FIVB partners. So as first point, as you're familiar with the handbook we have, Chapter 4 is the marketing chapter, and then we have been working on to revise the content. And we have decided to split the chapter 4 into 4 different categories. First, 1 and 2 star events. Second, 3 to 4 star events, and then 5-star event, and World Tour Final and World Championship. The reason of this split will be to optimize the requirement, and so you can understand it better. So second point, I'm moving on to the next slide and explain to you what we do for branding kit in 2019 season. So in 2019 season, we have adopted a new platform called FIVB Digital Assets Management Platform. The purpose of this platform is to centralize the digital assets that we have as in FIVB into one centralized library. And what we can do on this platform is to grant the access for specific users in each categories. For example, as you can see on the screen, we will be providing the access guide for each organizer to access to the branding kit. Now, how do you access branding kit? So as a technical delegate, if you wish to access branding kit, what we can do is to create your account first. What we can do is to list out your email account and then share with the Technology Innovation Department. They are the one who register your email on the platform, and once they do, you receive the email from the platform. Once you see the email, you'll find a link where you can access to the platform to set your own password. Once you set your password, you're ready to go on the platform. Now I'll show you quickly how the platform looks like. Once you log into the platform, you'll find the page, as you can see on the screen, and you'll see thumbnails of each item that is saved in the branding kit. So for example, this is the branding kit for 3 and 4-star events, and as you can see on the screen, left side, you can find the folder which named branding kit 3 and 4-star events. So once you click, once you click, you have subfolders. What I want you to do is to find a subfolder named reference document, where you can find a document called user guide. This user guide is another document that we created for this year to make the organizer understand what the branding item look like and in our requirements. So you'll find this document on the platform accordingly once you access to the website. So let's go back to the slide. And then I'll cover the key items for the 2019 season. First item that I would like to focus is dual logo. In 2019 season, we have 2 additional requirements for dual logo. As you can see on the screen, this is the screen capture of the user guide I explained. And as you can see, landscape version is right in the middle of the page. Once you see the layout, some of you may notice that there is the different layout for the landscape version. And as you can see, World Tour will be featured on the left, while tournament logo will be placed on the right. And another requirement for tournament logo will be the size. In 2018 season, we have several events that tournament logo was bigger than the World Tour logo. So what we restricted is that the maximum size of the tournament logo should be the size of the World Tour logo placed on the left. For CV events, they will customize the branding kit. So as all the technical delegates who are assigned to CV events for 1 and 2 star, please coordinate with the CV directly. And we will cover this part as end of the part 2. Next item, court layout. As you're familiar with this court layout, in 2019 season, there is no major change. However, I would like to re-emphasize our partners in our FIVB reserved spaces. First here, number 3, Banco do Brasil. Number 7, FIVB.com. Number 9, World Tour logo. Number 10, tournament logo. Number 12, Mikasa with a beach volleyball on. And then 15 and 16 would be FIVB reserved. In addition to this first tier, you'll find Mikasa banners on the second tier. The requirement of the size would be a little bit wider. And as you can see, it will be 1 meter times 5 meters. Moving on to the next slide. Running order. So for the events who uses LED boards on center court, we require them to submit the running order. What we can see is that we can check the layout of the running order and also the split between sponsorship, local sponsors and FIVB ratios. So what I want you to check is that once you find the final layout on Collaborate for 3 to 5 star events, please make sure that rotation is respecting the total duration of 4.5 minutes, while each rotation should respect the 15 seconds of duration. In addition to that, if there is any shared rotation, please make sure number 9 and number 10 will be fixed as a World Tour logo on the left and tournament logo on the right. Next item, referee chair. In 2018 season, we did not have a specific layout for referee chair in our handbook. However, we will adopt the fixed layout for 2019 season, as you can see on the screen. And this layout will feature approved duo logo, which World Tour logo will be on top and tournament logo will be on the bottom. And then in addition to that, there will be 2 different spaces for local sponsor to put their logo if they wish. You can find this layout on the branding kit, as well as the approved layout will be shared on the Collaborate for 3 to 5 star events. Next item, net layout. In 2019 season, we will adopt the specific number for logo spaces on each band. For example, on the upper band, there will be 9 different spaces. However, this has to be filled with a approved duo logo. For lower band, there will be 9 spaces, and then based on the handbook, there should be duo logo placed. However, if organizer requests for the release, we can allow organizer to place up to 2 sponsors. However, in this case, the color should be in monochrome. Next point, uniforms. As you can see on the screen, for men's uniform, there is no major change. I would like to raise 3 different points. As you can see on the layout, we always request organizer to submit the specific dimensions for each element. On men's uniform, on the front side, you can see player's number, country code, and then sponsor space. For country code, please make sure Brazil is respected. And in 2018 season, it was Brazil with Z. However, we received a request to change the spelling to Brazil with S. However, we haven't received the final decision from the senior management, so we will get back to you once we hear the confirmation. Next point is the sponsor space. So on the uniform, we have specific dimension or areas that we restrict our local sponsor to place their logos. So on men's uniform, there will be a space right in the middle of the uniform and also on the back. And the area would be maximum 300 square centimeters. Please make sure once you arrive on site that you check accordingly and make sure the sponsored logo is not too close to the country code. Third point would be player's name on the back of the uniform for TV matches. Please make sure all the TV matches or live streaming matches will have uniforms and with the player's name on back. Next slide. For women's uniform, it will be the same for men's uniform. However, please make sure all the elements have smaller dimensions since there is a limitation of the space. And then also sponsor space should be respected. Please make sure you check all these points once you get on site. Finally, the third point would be FIVB partners. So as you can see on the screen, we have 4 FIVB sponsors for beach volleyball, two offshore suppliers and 2 offshore supporters. In 2018 season, we had many cases that we had to check from our office for Mikasa's rights, especially on the court, center court and side courts. And in addition to that, Mikasa, please make sure Mikasa has the rights for all the printed material, as well as point of sales, and giant ball inflatable placed on the center court. So once again, please make sure before the season start, you check handbook on our website, and then make sure you understand all the rights for the partners, and it should be respected on site. Thank you so much for your attention, and now I'll pass the floor to my colleague Rahel, who will cover technology and sport equipment. Thank you.
Hi everyone, the ones that are watching this webinar, thank you very much for your availability. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about the technological aspects and advancement that we are going to use in 2019 beach volleyball tournaments. So we will start with video challenge system. For 2019 beach volleyball tournaments, video challenge system will be used for the World Championships in Hamburg, our 5-star tournament in Fort Lauderdale, Gstaad, Vienna, Rome, and also Olympic qualification tournament. As you know, we will have the 4-star tournament in Tokyo, which will be the test event for the Olympic Games. We are currently in negotiations and discussions with JVA and Tokyo Organizing Committee to make sure that we will be able to use all technological advancements and aspects in this tournament that will be used during the Olympic Games. So once you arrive on site, what we expect you to do is to check with the organizer if they have received the Hawkeye equipment. After that, please check the office of the video challenge operators and make sure that it complies with what we have received and approved on Collaborate, on the venue layout. Also, please check if there is any issues or any concerns. Hawkeye operators, they arrive 4 days prior to the implementation of video challenge. So once they arrive on site, please introduce yourself to them, as you know, they are expanding their team and some of them might not know you. And also provide your help and support to them. The other important matter is the rehearsal matches. So based on the agreements between Hokai and the FIVB, Hokai will provide 2 matches as rehearsal for the video challenge. So please make sure that all stakeholders, including the players, referees, referee delegate, organizer, they're all informed of these 2 matches. If there is any changes, please make sure that everyone is informed and also inform FIVB immediately. There will be another presentation by Jonas, and he will go through video challenge in more details. The other item that we would like to talk about is referee communication system, or Vocero. So for all tournaments that we are implementing video challenge, Vocero system will be used. So what you need to know is that the shipment of the equipment on site is done by the FIVB, and organizers are informed that once they receive the equipment and once the referee delegate is on site, they are required to give this equipment to the referee delegate. Then referee delegate will check if any item is missing or if any item is damaged. Of course, it must have been done in the previous tournament, but they recheck as per the list. And of course, they will inform the FIVB, and also they will keep you informed of the situation. The other technology advancement that we are using for several years is electronic score sheet in collaboration with Data Volley. So electronic score sheet will be used as mandatory requirement for the World Championships, World Tour 3 to 5 star, Age Group World Championships, Olympic qualification tournament. For the World Tour 1 and 2 star tournaments, the use of electronic score sheet is optional, and if the organizer already has the equipment, they will use it. Please note that the software is free, as FIVB pays the license fee to Data Volley, so that it will be provided for free for all the organizers. Once you arrive on site, please make sure that organizer has the required equipment. Check the tablets if they are compatible with the data project software, and if any item is missing. Also, please make sure that reliable internet connection will be provided for the implementation of the electronic score sheet. Team videos. So as you know, in 2018, from the first tournament in The Hague, we started providing this new service for our stakeholders. We are working again with Sport Radar for 2019, and this service will be provided from the first tournament again in The Hague in January. Please note that Sport Radar is one of the FIVB's partners. So one of the most important things that you need to do once you arrive on site is to make sure that organizer is well aware of presence of the Sport Radar's operators on site, and that they will provide the required facilities and equipment for them. The other important matter is that to make sure that there is no competitor company present at the venue. We had discussions with the Sport Radar, and if they see that there is a competitor in the venue, they will come to you with the issue. What we are asking you to do is that you have to inform the organizer and invite the operators of the competitor to leave the venue. If the person has an accreditation, please withdraw the accreditation. One important matter is that you make sure that reliable internet connection is provided for this service. Also, this internet connection must not be shared with any other stakeholder. So it will be dedicated 100% to Sport Radar. Also, please make sure that the location of the camera on the court will be on the right place and will not change. In 2018, we had some occasions that the position of the camera was changed by the operators. Please oversee that. Scoreboards. Similar to previous years, we will provide 2 scoreboards for the World Championships, World Tour 3 to 5 star tournaments, Age Group World Championships, and Olympic qualification tournaments. Please note that for the tournaments organized by BMC, electronic scoreboard will be provided by the organizers. That means that in 2019, for the World Championships and the 5 star tournaments in Gstaad, in Fort Lauderdale, and Vienna, we will not provide the scoreboards, and our supplier will be Fanedict. So here we go to the our equipment. Mikasa, our official ball supplier. So as you can see, in 2019, these are the number of balls that will be provided for each different category of event. For the 1 and 2 star tournaments in Europe, CEV will take care of the distribution of the balls to different tournaments. Also, Mikasa will provide 4 flags for each tournament and in all categories. A6 uniforms. Laura has already explained about the uniform, but here is just to let you know that for 1 and 2 star tournaments, we will provide the uniforms only for the technical delegates. For the 3 star tournaments, it will be provided for the technical delegates, referee delegates, and the international referees. 4 and 5 star tournaments, all stakeholders, including the delegates, international referees, players, and organizational staff, will receive the uniforms. But please note that this does not apply for the 5 star tournaments which are organized by BMC. For the World Championships, FIVB will provide the uniforms for all stakeholders, including the players. Seno. As you know, last year we worked with Seno to improve the quality of the net system. In 2019, Seno will provide the new net system for center court for the World Championships, Olympic qualification tournament, 3 to 5 star tournaments, and under 21 World Championships. One thing we are asking you to check is that the net system provided by Seno is going to be used on the center court. So in the 3 to 5 star tournaments and the World Champs, you need to check all the side courts and make sure that the net system is non-branded. For the 1 and 2 star tournaments, you will need to check center court and side courts and make sure that nets are not branded. So in this presentation is finished now. Now we have 10 minutes time for you to ask us your questions, and during this break we will provide you with the answers. Then after that we will continue the rest of the webinar.
Hello, everyone. It's me again. Now it's a question and answer time for the first part. So we received a few questions already during our presentation at the part 1 and already answered them by typing, but just want to reiterate. So the first question from Yup, the answer is the same regulation still applies. So the host country teams from 1 and 2 stars will only have their points calculated if it's beneficial. And the second question is from Dirk regarding the names of the uniforms for live stream matches. So our current regulation states that for the semi-finals, bronze medal and gold medal matches for 1 to 3 stars, that is mandatory for live stream. We need to have the players' names on the back. And for the other matches live streamed by the organizers, it's not required, but we recommend to also have the player's name because it's easier for them, because normally they also have graphics. And for the 1-star and 2-star organized in Europe, we will follow the CEV customized guidelines in that specific aspect. And the third question is from August, and the answer is pretty simple, is yes. Please make sure that you check both the net system and also the net band to make sure that the complete net system is non-branded. It's also to protect the interest of our equipment supplier, which is Seno. Do we have further questions? I mean, if not, we'll continue with part 2. And in the meantime, you can still ask your questions through typing at the YouTube. Or if you don't have a question for now, you can also contact our beach volleyball department after you receive the working files. Thank you. Then we move on to the next.
So, hello again. In this part, we are going to discuss the role of technical delegate in different beach volleyball tournaments. As you can see here, we have divided your roles in 3 different areas of pre-event, on-site, and post-event. The aim of this presentation is to help you to do your job pre-event, on-site, and post-event as perfectly as possible. And also, we have been trying to introduce practical and new tools in order to help you with your duties. In the pre-event phase, as you can see, we will have the inspection visit, collaborate or master plan, and FIVB TD call. So I will continue with the pre-event and inspection visit. Your role as a TD for a tournament will be going to do an inspection visit for some of the tournaments. This tournament can be a new tournament, or if a tournament is organized by the same organizer, but they are changing the location, city, or simply if they didn't perform into our expectations, we will ask you to conduct an inspection visit. So before going to your visit, we will be in touch and we will inform you on areas that we need you to check. Please note that when you're on site, your goal should be helping the organizer and show that you want to support them and teach them to organize a good tournament. So before going on site, before your trip, please prepare an agenda for this visit. And if you feel comfortable, share it with us. We are happy to see what you're going to check, and also we will have our input. The other matter is that you need to check the FIVB 05 or organizational chart. Get in touch with the organizer, and based on this organizational chart, make sure that key people, key staff involved in these tournaments will be present during your inspection visit, as you will need to discuss different things with them. Once you arrive on site, please check that all people are there, and what we need you to do is to clarify the roles and responsibilities and who is doing what. Once you are on site, please investigate and provide us with information on the venue, pictures, and if there will be any major issues. Inspection visit report, FIVB 12. The new aspect for 2019 is that we are requesting you to provide us with pictures. In the previous years, you had the report, and of course you were providing us with very useful information, but this year we are asking you to provide us with pictures of different areas. For example, if the venue is a permanent venue, make sure that you will have pictures of different areas. If they have two venues for the center court and side courts or warm-up courts, make sure that you will have these pictures, and that you know, for example, the distance between two venues, transportation that they are going to provide for the players and for the referees and people involved. Also, the other important matter is to inform us about any potential risk. Try to understand if organizer is facing any difficulties, such as budget constraints, or if you see that the organizer is not experienced enough or doesn't have the knowledge and experience to organize this tournament. Try to understand the relationship between the National Federation and organizer. See if they are transparent enough with you. See if anyone from the city is on site during the inspection visit, so that shows that the organizer and NF, they have the support of the city. Next phase in pre-event is the preparation phase. So as you know, for 3 to 5-star tournaments we will use Collaborate, and for 1 and 2-star tournaments we use the master plan. We ask you to be involved in the process and make sure that you contribute to the preparation of this tournament. Provide your feedback for the organizer, for us, in different areas. And in case you feel that some matters cannot be shared with the organizer or other stakeholders on the platform, please feel free just to send us an email or just open a new discussion on Collaborate and share this information with us. The other new thing that we are going to use next season in terms of preparation for the event is FIVB TD call. So on Wednesday, the week before the tournament, we will schedule a phone call with you. So during this phone call, we will update you and we will inform you on the general status of the tournament, and if any detailed information needs to be provided for you. Basically, as of after this call, you will be the responsible for this tournament and anything that might happen on site. So during this call, of course, we will discuss different things. For example, if when you arrive on site, upon arrival, if we need you to check certain matters and report to us, or if certain areas need your inspection. Also, we will inform you if there has been any discussion with the organizer or any approval that you were not a part of, and that you need to be aware and check on site. The other thing is that we will notify you on any pending matter, so that you need to check once you arrive on site and let us know the status of that. We also provide you with VIS and electronic score sheet login information, so that you will be well prepared for the tournament. In the next slide, we are going to talk about on-site responsibilities, and my colleague Leo will explain this part to you.
Thank you, Rahel, and hello everyone again. I will now go over some of the practical points that we need your attention during your visit on site, and they're divided as shown on the slide right now. On site, we would like for you to please keep an eye out on these key points of the event. As for the late arrivals, we had some issues this season with regard to the coordination of the information for the late arrivals and no-shows of teams. So when on site, we kindly ask you to verify before the preliminary inquiry the following. Verify if the preliminary inquiry information is correctly displayed in the hotel and venue info boards. Verify if there's any communication from the teams or NF. Verified if received any information from the FIVB concerning team's late arrival, and verify with the LOC if there is any communication from the teams or NF. Lastly, please request from the organizer the transportation list from the teams of the main draw. And also, we have some issues regarding missing bank information. We have athletes arriving on site with missing bank account information. And we kindly ask you to remind them during the preliminary inquiry to update their VIS profile with their bank and personal information. If they're having any issues with that, they can contact us here at Beach Volleyball Department and we will help them. Concerning the athlete commitment and health certificate dots, we have right now many cases that our athletes are showing up to the events with missing documents in their profile. So please ask them to sign a paper form on site and have the tournament doctor co-sign the health certificate. After, please keep the form during the event for reference. Furthermore, request for the players with missing documents that upon their arrival home, they coordinate with their NFs to upload the correct documentation on the VIS profile. Regarding the venue, we have several points, as you can see on the board, and I will go through them, especially regarding the training course availability. We're facing issues with the training course availability not being ready on time. So upon your arrival on site, please coordinate with the LOC to ensure that the training courts are available per the requirements. Also, check if the procedure for the sign-up, transportation, and equipment are in place and the players are properly informed. For the court requirements, last season we faced several complaints regarding the quality and the depths of the sand. When arriving at the venue, please verify the sand conditions on the courts, including the verification of the depths of the sand. Coordinate with the LOC to improve the conditions, and if needed, you can also reach out to us here at the Beach Volleyball Department for possible solutions. Also, please constantly evaluate the conditions of the court and use the roto-tilling and watering to make the improvements on the court if necessary. And in case there's lighting around the court for night matches, please verify the output of the looks and ensure that the requirements are met and there's sufficient lighting for the athletes to compete. Venue branding. Our biggest goal of the season is to improve on the quality of our events, and venue branding is a big part of it. We would like to ask everyone to collaborate and ensure that key parts of the implementation of the branding are conforming to the FIVB requirements. And those are dual logos to ensure that the dual logos is properly used, the banners or LEDs to ensure that the sponsors displayed are the same one as the approved sponsor list. And if not, please verify if the category is reserved and inform us here at FIVB immediately. Regarding the medical requirements, we also faced several events this season where key parts of the medical requirements were missing on site, such as ambulance, physiotherapists, even enough ice and sufficient massage tables. So please ensure that during the event, 1 hour before the start to 1 hour after the last match, these items that I mentioned are available. And lastly, we have the athletes and coaches requirement. Many coaches and players commented that last season on several events, some of the requirements were not being met on site. So we would like to ask for your collaboration to ensure that the athletes have the best possible conditions on site. With that in mind, please make sure that the following items below are in place for the athletes and coaches. For the athletes, coaches seating on the center court, please make sure that they have a designated place and also a place to place the coach's scouting camera. And on the side courts, please verify that the coaches have a place to sit with a chair and hopefully an umbrella to block the sun, and also a place for the coaches and the players to meet between matches with chairs and tables so they can prepare themselves for their next match. Also, please make sure that the bathrooms are located close to the athletes' lounge and also close to the playing courts. And if the food provided is sufficient for everyone and also nutritional balanced. And lastly, we have the accreditation, and we would like to make sure that the accreditation for coaches and the team staff are in place with the correct assets that they need. Now we're going to info. Information is a big part of the event, and we would like to have your special attention with some of the tools that we have in place. So for the athletes communication, a new tool that we will have for this season is the possibility for the technical delegate on site to extract via the VIS system the emails of the participating teams to send out relevant information to the participating players. We will also need the TD to inform that the teams that the information will be sent by email and that will also be displayed on the info boards and on-site and in a hotel. This is currently being developed, and once it's available, we will provide all the necessary information for you. Regarding the venue and info boards, we have noticed that several comments were made that the information on the info boards on site and in a hotel are not up to date and sometimes even incorrect. So we would like you to make sure that the information available to the team are consistently updated and correct. And also, please verify if the info boards are located in the correct places, and in the case of the hotel, if there's somebody physically there at the desk the entire time to assist the teams. For the on-site planning, I broke it down into 3 parts. One is the transportation plan. Please, upon arrival, make sure that the transportation plan is in place as approved on the Collaborate platform, including the condition in place for team staff if they have to pay for the transportation. This is important for you to be aware and for us to know. Another point is a volunteer plan. We saw that in some events this season, there was a shortage of volunteers on site. And we would like for you to get in touch with the LOC to see the approved volunteer plan and make sure that it is in place. And also, please make sure that the LOC has a backup plan in case of volunteers not showing up. And also, it's really important that the LOC provides you with accurate information regarding the number of volunteers on site and that the volunteers have proper shifts and conditions to work in. And lastly, I have the uniform layout. So during the event, please make sure that the uniform distribution is flowing well and that they have enough uniforms for the final phase. One small tip that I would like to give to you guys is to make sure that the organizers save a couple sets of uniforms for the teams that are playing in the finals. So in that way, if their uniforms are dirty from their match, they can change into a brand new pair of uniform for their awarding ceremony. Okay. Now, the online forms. We have, for this new upcoming season, a new template for the forms. And from 2019 on, we will use Survey Gizmo as a way to simplify and digitize some of our existing FIVB forms. And you can see here on the slide that we have 4 new forms that will be incorporated into the Survey Gizmo. For the Survey Gizmo, this is a tool that you can use on your phone, tablets, or even a normal computer, where you can fill out the information as you go and saving it if you need to stop and go back to it. The goal for this tool is to make it even easier for you to complete your forms on site and provide you with information to the FIVB. A quick basic how-to step for Survey Gizmo, you would just click on the link provided by us. They will send you to the form. You fill it out as you need. If you need to stop, you can just save. And once finished, you can just click submit, and the form will be automatically submitted to the FIVB Beach Volleyball Department. There's no need to send these forms through a courier, and that's a very good thing. So for the stadium and facilities homologation, and as well as the court equipment checklist, we have transferred the existing files into Survey Gizmo. And we're very impressed to see how simple it worked. And we're very excited to see you try. So please remember that you can stop the survey at any time and save and restart it at your convenience. For the photo checklist, it's a new checklist that we've added this season, and the photo checklist is a way for us to get a visual understanding of the event through your perspective. This checklist focuses on the key elements of the event and that we need pictures of for future reference. And this way, we can all have up-to-date information as this is sent on a daily basis. And thank you to the Survey Gizmo platform. You'll be able to go through the list very simple and in an organized fashion. For the daily report, it will be a new tool for the technical delegate on site to report and elaborate on the positive aspects and issues that may occur on site on a daily basis, and the issues that should be reported to FIVB. So in this report, we will also use the Survey Gizmo platform, and the TD can submit it to the FIVB at their convenience if necessary. So please provide a detailed explanation of the positive aspects or issue that occurred, the steps taken by the technical delegate on site, and any consequences that happened due to the issue that occurred. Now, moving on to schedule. I would like to talk to you about the approval of the competition schedule on site. We kindly ask you, as you arrive on site, please check the weather forecast and discuss with the local organizer of any contingency plan that may need to be in place, especially for TV matches. Also, verify and approve that the draft of the detailed competition schedule with start time, finish, ceremony, activities, and etc., they are not clashing within your schedule. And if there's any side activities that you're not aware of, please request more information from the organizer. And for the first phase second round matches, there are several remarks made from athletes during the event stating that the winners of the first phase first round matches should play before the losers. The rationale is that the winners, they should have more time to prepare themselves for the second phase. And during the preparation phase of the event, the beach volleyball department will coordinate with the LOC on the competition schedule. On site, please make sure that the schedule reflects that the winners will play before the losers in the first phase. The awarding ceremony. The awarding ceremony is an opportunity that we have to leave a lasting memory of the event, and therefore we need to treat it with high importance. Last season, there were many events that did not prepare themselves to provide a smooth ceremony, whether it was due to a lack of attention from the organizers or a lack of preparation or rehearsal. These are the areas that we need the technical delegates on site to be a part of so we can ensure a proper preparation and implementation of the requirements of the awarding ceremony. So please control and coordinate the planning, preparation, and make sure that you are present during the rehearsal of the awarding ceremony. And now, following the drawing the lots below your screen, I would like to introduce to you the two-draw concept for the drawing of lots. The two-draw concept revolves around the fact that the team playing on the winner's side of the second round don't need to wait till the end of the loser's round to know where they're drawn into the brackets and when they play. So by applying the two-draw concept on site, the TD can schedule the first draw after the conclusion of the winner's round in the first phase, and they can establish their place in the brackets. Then after the conclusion of the losers matches of the first phase, you can conduct the second drawing with the third place teams, and there you only have 8 teams to fill in the remaining spots. So this is a concept that we would like for you to apply, and if you have any questions, you can let us know. And the cutoff time, we would like to really instate that we need the players to be informed of their matches before 10 o'clock the day before. So in the case of the preliminary inquiry, please make sure that the information available to the players are being directed in the proper time and in a proper communication channel. From the FIVB, from the beach volleyball department side, we will do our best to schedule the preliminary inquiries to finish before 9 p.m. And for the communication with our athletes is key. They are our partners in this venture, and we need to make sure that they're aligned with us during the event. Therefore, we need to push the LOC to keep all information up to date, available to everybody on site, also to keep verifying the information on the website to make sure it's correct and aligned. And the event website and the info board are the best tools for the athletes to get their information. And so please ensure that the information provided is up to date and the info boards are clearly displayed. Now, moving on to VIS. VIS is one of the most crucial parts of our events. VIS is the most crucial part of our event, and the integration with the system is extremely important. That's why we need to keep a special attention and make sure that all parameters are being fulfilled. For the match results, it's very important that the VIS operator on site makes sure that all information is inserted and the match information is completed in the system. And the updating of the matches, especially during the qualification phase, is that we see a common problem that the VIS operator is not updating the qualification matches on VIS before the implementation of the qualification teams to the main draw. And this is causing a problem since there are matches still open in the qualification and the results are not showing correctly on the website. So please make sure that during the preliminary inquiry, for the main draw, all qualification matches are properly inserted and the qualification tournament is concluded on the VIS system before moving the winning teams from qualification to the main draw. And also we have the player sanctions that we've had some miscoordination, and we would like for you to please make sure that you do the fine of the withdraw team before you withdraw the team. That will allow to avoid any mistakes and make it easier on you guys on site as well. The event parameters on VIS. It's very important that we are aligned with VIS, and the information on VIS corresponds to the information on the specific competition regulation. So we please ask you to verify on the VIS if the parameters established for the prize money and the awarding points correspond to the information on the BVB 06. And lastly, for finishing the event, once the last matches of the event have been played, please make sure that you and the operator for VIS verify all the elements and make sure that the event is properly closed by choosing the finish field on the status on the VIS page. And if anybody want to get any additional training on VIS, please let us know, and we'll be glad to coordinate it. Okay, thank you.
And again, so here we would like to discuss about your roles and responsibilities once the tournament is finished. Once the tournament is done, you will have a wrap-up meeting with the organizer and NF representative. During this short meeting, we ask you to explain to the organizer and the NF what worked well and the areas that they need to improve for the future tournaments. Also, evaluate their performance and explain to them the reasons based on which you evaluated them. Submitting the technical delegate report and other necessary information. The technical delegate report, BVB 13, will remain like 2018 season, and it will not be online. So once the tournament is finished, please make sure that you will complete the report and send it to us via Collaborate. Also, you will need to complete the TD summary report and upload it on the TD Hub on Collaborate, so other technical delegates can have access to this information. As you can see, we will have new forms and activities that we are asking you to complete. One of them is a TD evaluation report, which will be online. With this report, we are asking you to evaluate yourself and your performance at that specific tournament. Please be honest with yourself once you are providing this information to us, because the aim is to see the areas where you're strong at and the areas where you need to improve, and we will provide you with tools to improve your performance. For your information, this TD evaluation report will be sent, of course, online to the organizer as well. So they will complete the same report and evaluate your performance. Also, the person from the FIVB in charge of your tournament will evaluate you. The other new report that we will have in 2019 is the event highlight report, which will be online. So what we are asking you to do is to provide us with information and pictures of most significant things that happened during this tournament. When we say highlight, it means we mean that it should be significantly good or areas that you think did not work at all. For example, if you have the full stadia during the final matches, of course, and during the week, and you think that this is a great tournament with this great promotion, so provide us with pictures, upload the pictures there. If you see a good fan engagement, a good entertainment plan in place, or animation, provide us with the pictures and explain if you want, if you see necessary to clarify the reasons behind that. Or if you see something did not work at all. For example, you have the final matches and you have only 100 people in the stadium. So this is not a good performance. And this is where we expect you again to provide us with pictures on areas that need significant improvement. And once we receive these highlights and reports from you, we will evaluate and we will provide a final report from our side. So we understand that you have received so many information, and we want to explain that our aim is to simplify the procedures and help you to perform your job better and better. So here it's just a summary of the tools and forms that will be provided for you. So pre-event, you will have the inspection visit report, BVB 12, which is not online. And of course our Collaborate platform and master plan for 1 and 2 star tournaments. On site, that starts from your arrival on site until you leave the tournament. You will see the forms that you will need to provide for us, and Leo explained that which of the forms will be through Survey Gizmo, so to simplify the procedures and also make your job easier. Photo checklist, and of course daily report. And for the post-event, as you can see, you have the TD report. Again, it's not online. We will work like previous years. You will have the TD summary report, which should be uploaded on Collaborate TD Hub. Please don't forget that. And even highlights, evaluation report, and referee delegate reports that you have. So as you see, we are trying to improve the procedures and make your job less challenging on site. And once you use these forms, once you go to your tournament, please provide us with your feedback. It's really important for us to know if things are improving or not. If not, we are always happy to listen to you and adjust forms or any procedure to make sure that your job will be less challenging. For next presentation, you will have the master plan and Laura will present it to you.
We are now going to discuss the way we manage 3 to 5 star events with our organizers. So for the past 4 years now, we have been using the project management platform called Collaborate. By managing events on this platform, it enables the organizers, the delegates, as well as us to see what is going on and to all have access to the correct information, documents, as well as approved item. It is much easier than managing events through emails, as all stakeholders have access to the information and documents easily. It is also much more efficient in order to find what you are looking for rather than on the emails. Collaborate also serves as a hub for the technical delegates, referee delegates, and challenge referees. Through these hubs, you are able to exchange documents as well as create discussions if you wish to share something. Over the years, we have continuously tried to improve the master plan of events, taking into account the needs of the FIVB, the delegates, and the organizers. You will see on this slide the main milestones of the master plan. We have tried to improve it again for next year, so feel free to let us know if you have any feedback as well. I will now take a look at the platform and show you the best way to use this tool. So please bear with me. Okay, so I believe now you can all see Collaborate on your screens, the platform. Yes? Okay. So I will show you the best way to go about it when you're assigned to an event and how to check the information. So what I usually do is I go to the left-hand side and click this little icon, Projects. By clicking on it, you will see the projects you are assigned to. It seems very heavy because this is my login, but for you, it should, you should see a lot less information. So here, for example, let's take The Hague 4-star. So imagine you're assigned to The Hague. So you click on the project, it will bring you to the project normally. Let me just relog in. 2 seconds. Should just take a second. Okay, we should be back online now. So I clicked on the project. You are now on the Hague 4-star project. Now, you see a lot of information and it can be confusing. I would stick to tasks. By clicking on tasks, you will get to see the whole master plan. Now, you need to click the settings in order to be able to see the information the best way possible. By clicking on this little icon here, make sure all tasks is clicked. Then click the second icon here and group by milestone. This is my personal preference, but obviously if you prefer seeing by deadline right now, feel free to keep it that way. I usually think that by milestone, it's a little easier to look for the information. So now on this left-hand hand side, you will see the various milestones as you saw before on the slide, regarding the venue, the competition, TV, human resources, and so on. So once you're here, let's say you want to check the competition schedule. You can click in the bar here, competition schedule, and it will come up. Once you click on it, on the right-hand side, this is where you will see all the relevant information about the schedule. So the organizer has to upload the schedule, which they did, for example, here. And then, as you can see, everyone can comment, give their advice, give their preferences. Red Bull Media TV is involved in the schedule approval, so they are here as well, approving the schedule. It allows everyone to check what is going on and to give their feedback. As we can see, Dirk, who is the technical delegate for The Hague, has also approved the schedule. He doesn't have any comments so as to the schedule. If you do want to leave a comment or make a remark, leave a comment here. Type whatever you want to do. Perfect. And then you just click comment. And everyone in this task will be notified accordingly. Another way to check what is going on and if you've been notified about something where you need your attention on, there's this little tab at the bottom called notification. Normally, if you've been notified for a specific task, you will see a little icon on the bottom saying notification 1. And basically here, you can see what is going on and where your attention is required. So for example, I see something about competition schedule. I click to it and it brings me to the correct task that requires my attention. Okay, now another thing I wanted to show you was the various hubs we discussed earlier. So same thing, if you click on the project here, and then you will see your hubs. I will check first the technical delegate hub. Once you get here, the important part to focus on is discussions. You click on discussions, and then you will see the various discussions that have been created. So if you want to start one, you just click here, new discussion, and all the technical delegates will be notified. Now you also need to upload the summary report, as we were mentioning before, on the technical delegate hub, as well as in the Collaborate project of the specific event where you're assigned. But in the hub, I have created, if I can find it, 2019, the 2019, there we are. I have created a new tab where you can upload the summary reports for 2019. By clicking on it, obviously we have no reports uploaded right now, but for Dirk, who will be assigned for The Hague in January, once you're done with the event, you leave a comment, the latest the day after the event, and you upload the file by clicking attach a file. And then don't forget to click comment at the end. All technical delegates will then have the summary report. Now let's move on to the referee delegate hub. Okay, so what is important here is in the file section. After each event, you need to upload files so that every referee delegate can have a look at them, as well as José Casanova. Here, once you're on the file section, you should click upload files after you've officiated at an event. You click upload files. You click choose files from your computer that you want to upload. And what is important is in the category, I've created a new tab for 2019. As you can see here, depending on what you're uploading, you click the correct tab. And don't forget to click save at the end. Same thing for the challenge referees, who also have a specific hub. Again, you go to the files area, you click upload files, you select them from your computer, you choose the category, which has been added for 2019, and you click save. Okay, so I think we're done with the platform. There we are. All right, so obviously it can be a little tricky to manage for the first time, especially projects on Collaborate. So if you have any questions or require any further training, please don't hesitate to send me an email or give me a call, and I can definitely assist you with that. Now, lastly, if you don't have a login yet, also please email me and I will make sure you get access to this platform. We will now move on with my colleague Yosuke about the way we manage 1- and 2-star events. He'll be up shortly. Thank you.
Hello again. I will quickly cover the 1- and 2-star events management process. As you can see on the screen, in 2017 season, all the events were managed by FIVB. In 2018 season, FIVB has decided to empower continental federations for allowing them to organize the event in their territory. In 2018 season, CEV has managed 12 1-star events successfully, thanks to CEV for their management. And in 2019 season, AVC and CSV will join the collaboration, as Mr. Yuchao explained earlier. So for preparation phase, for CEV, please coordinate with CEV directly, as they will be in charge of all the management and requirement check. Mr. Yuchao will briefly explain after this session. For AVC and CSV, for AVC, we have started the transfer of knowledge back in September. So we have been currently working with the AVC to manage our 1- and 2-star events. And in first couple months, FIVB will take the lead and AVC will shadow. Once they feel more comfortable, we will shift the management to AVC accordingly. So very important point for you, for TD nomination, flights per diem payment, wildcard allocation are coordinated by FIVB directly for AVC and CSV events. And again, all the projects will be managed with a master plan checklist, and it will be done by email and in phone conversation if needed. And no Collaborate platform will be used for 1- and 2-star events. Thank you so much for your attention. And now we have 5 minutes of a question session. Please go ahead and type your questions if you're willing to ask anything, and then we'll get back to you in 5 minutes. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, while you're still typing for the questions, I want to already give you some answers for the question that you asked during the part 2. The first one is to Joop, and also Dirk, and also Likos regarding the missing documents. So I think you have very good points, and also first of all, I suggest you, if any good proposals, send to us, because currently, as we know, all the national federations are responsible to upload the player's commitment and also the player's certificate, and FIVB will check it one by one. Then the dot will disappear. But sometimes, for some reason, or for some coordination things, that the dot are still there, and the documents are not uploaded, and the players come on site and say, we actually sign everything with the national federation. So what is our normal approach is we ask them to sign again on site for that specific event, and then ask National Federation to re-upload again during the event or right after the event. Because from our point of view, we don't want to stop the players from playing. It's not their fault. And of course, it's also very difficult to identify which fault will be. So, you know, as we mentioned from the very beginning, the players are the core of the competitions, and they are the most important part of our sport. Of course, we want to have a clear rule that we can have a clear procedure to avoid this happening. So any proposals will be welcome, and currently we'll keep implementing the same rule. Is we'll still check all the dots before the event, and the supervisor need, according to the entry list, as to collect the information. If not signed, they will be signed on site and let us know the team name. And also we will then address to all the national federation, urge them to actually upload the PowerPoint in due time. So this is the first question. The second question is regarding Joop, regarding the ambulance. So the FIB position is the on-site ambulance is required as a general principle. However, we understand as per the local city regulation or local community regulation, there might be different rules. Then if that will be a different rule, then we will approve our case-by-case scenarios. I know, for example, in the Netherlands, the local policy is if the ambulance can arrive within 10 minutes, then there's no need to have an ambulance on site. So we'll consider case by case, and we'll use our common knowledge to assess whether this 10 minutes is without traffic or not. Of course, I understand most of times there's always a green light for the ambulance. The third question is to answer for Joop's. I think the question in general is about team video. So for the team video, we are still in negotiation with Sports Reader, and the FIB's goal is to continue the same services for all the competition courses for 3 and 5 stars. We'll meet them by the end of December to finalize their offer. And I think without surprise, we'll continue for next year. And as Dirk already mentioned, that for sure each coach will have their own agenda. Someone wants it quick, someone wants it in 30 minutes, someone wants it in 1 hour. Eventually, we still allow the team to set up the cameras. And my understanding is that they will not put off their camera unless they feel the system is fully reliable and it suits their timetable. So for the time being, we'll have team videos for 3 and 5 stars. We will also allow them to set up the team cameras. But as Joop already mentioned, the first event in Hague is indoor stadium. It might be easier for them to set up everything. And if they feel all reliable, then since there's no space, well, for sure there's no problem. We continue to do that. Again, this is a case-by-case evaluation, and exceptions can be allowed. The next one is to answer the question to Dirk. So we have already tried our best to provide the emails through the VIS. For the mobile, what we can do is we have in the player's profile the numbers that can reach them, but it might not be accurate. So that's why at preliminary inquiry of each event, you can also require the player to provide their mobile. And starting from the first event, if Dirk, you may help to upload that signing sheet with us, and we can update accordingly the player's profile of their mobiles. So I assume maybe up to 4, 5, or 5, 6 events, we might have quite complete contact information of all the major players. Of course, not for all of them. The next one is to answer Sandy Steele, the possibility to provide the local hotspot to permit easy communication. As our general guideline is, each delegate, they will have a mobile, and the venue and hotel will have Wi-Fi. So you can either be reached by the mobile, or you can be reached by WhatsApp, whatever, through the Wi-Fi. The next one is to answer Philippe the question regarding the feedbacks of the performance evaluation. Yes, we will. So we will share with you, as we promised, the areas to improve and also your strengths as well. But we will not share directly with you the document, and we will keep all the comments anonymous. The next one is to answer Dirk's question regarding putting the template file on the TD Hub. Yes, we will do. No worries on that. And let me see if I have any question just pumping up now. Yup, 1, 2 stars. How about number of international referees per court? Speaking English. For speaking English, I think is a basic requirement for the international referees. And for 1, 2 stars, our new requirement is to have a minimum 1 international or international candidate beach volleyball referee per competition court for 1, 2 stars. The same assignment policy stays for the 1, 2 stars, so no referee delegates. There will be only will be only technical delegate. The other question I will answer later. I will start now to continue about the World 2-1 2 stars organized in Europe. I'm back again. Now the point is about the 1 and 2 star organized in Europe. This topic is actually specifically for the delegate and the technical delegate work in the Europe. And actually, as I mentioned, the nomination based on the FIVB proposal on the approved on the CEV proposals. So for who are not a CEV delegate, you may skip this part, or you can stay, or you can still stay to have also the same information, or you can still type in your question for the time being. As already mentioned, it was really a successful collaboration between FIVB and CEV. We started this in the 2018 already. All the events in the previous European Beach Volleyball Masters and Challenger is now transferred to the FIVB 1 star and 2 star. The CEV still keeps their flagship, which is the CEV Championship. And throughout this year, both FIVB and CEV found it very successful from both sides in terms of communications and management of the events. Here, I know Dennis and Josh are also online. A big thank you for your great cooperation and also for your great management skills. I know it's not easy to manage 12 events, and next year I think you will manage more events. We'll stay together to work together to make sure that the events management of 1 star and 2 star in Europe will be the same successful and also improving compared with this year. So as I mentioned, there's a bit customized factors for the management of CEV for the 1 star and 2 star in Europe. This concerning a branding kit, this concerned the requirement of live streaming, this concerned the nomination procedures, and also the per diems. So, but in general, the operational parameters, especially for the competition and the organizational issues, is CEV managed the event according to the FIVB Beach Volleyball sports regulations and the handbooks. And certain parameters have been amended to be in line with the condition of the former European Master and the satellite event. So currently, CEV Beach Volleyball Department operates at the main operation center, so feel free to contact them directly for any questions you may have. And please make sure you also copy the FIVB Word 2, so we can also stay aligned with your question and also the answer from the CEV. This is also to have a transparent communication, and also sometimes we can also jump in to give you our input as well. According to the operational parameters the FIVB has set up with CEV, the CEV duties enlist the above, as you can see from the PowerPoints. So they are the main contact person for the European national federations. They also collect the event application forms. So even in the candidature process, they are involved from the very beginning. Then they coordinate with Angelo's new events business department, and to finalize the agreement. And starting from that, they are responsible to open the events in the VIS, and then they are putting information on the event web page for the general information, for the competition schedule, for the contact informations. And they are also responsible to sending and also receiving the organizational agreements with the organizer and national federation concerned. Then they are coordinated with the FIVB on the assignment of the events delegate. They are also responsible to issue the team list, the BB06, which is the specific events regulations, and also follow up on the withdrawals. Then they are also follow up with all the technical delegate on-site to manage the event, including the putting the fines, the approval of the competition schedule, and support them during the pre-event and also on-site, during the event on-site. Then they will also collect all the post-event documents from the technical delegates, while the FIVB will be in copy. Then there's also a few main differences. One, first of all, is event identity. As you can see, or for those who already worked this year with 1-star and 2-star organized in Europe, as you can see that the 1-star and 2-star, the dual logo, will also have a composite logo between the FIVB World 2 and also CEV. This shows a strong cooperation between the CEV Confederation and also the FIVB as the world governing body of the sport. The other differences is for the media's rights and obligations. So currently, the rights of the media is now with CEV. Even for international rights, this also shows a trust from the FIVB to CEV. And the prize money, we have the prize money in euro in Europe. It's not as a standard in US dollars, and but the breakdown will be the similar. I will say actually it will be the same. It's just it will be in euro, not in the US dollars. The other main differences is the document that will be used by CEV for the 1-star and 2-star in Europe. So because our documents is generic for all the 5-star categories. And as is for all 5-star categories, we don't want to complicate by customized with each category, because it can be a lot of administration as well, and also it can also confuse the delegates. So we still keep the generic one, and for the events 1-star and 2-star in Europe, CEV made a great effort to customize to reflect the areas needed just for the 1-stars. As you can see from the screen that those are the forms we mentioned here, and CEV has that published in the CEV website. And if you have any question, please don't hesitate to contact George or Dennis at your convenience. Future steps. What is the next for the 2019? As I just said, we feel extremely successful with the corporate collaboration with CEV, so we'll continue that. And the FIVB and CEV involved department has been reviewing, evaluating the parameters of collaboration, and also aiming to further align and strengthen it whenever it's possible. So currently, CEV has been revising and updating its guidelines for the 2019. And as you may understand, the CEV just launched their new logo, and this new element will be part of this ongoing rebranding campaign. In addition, the CEV will be developing a dedicated event flow-up system for those events, and the details will be announced by the CEV to the delegates concerned. And the aim is to establish this collaboration as a model. And as a matter of fact, it is already a model that we duplicate with currently the AVC and the CSV. We firmly believe that with such empowerment, all the confederation will be have enough knowledge to eventually manage the 1-star, 2-star, and eventually even the 3-star at their level. And the FIVB can concentrate on our elite event, which is 4-star, 5-star, and World Tour Final and World Championships, to create more venue and create more commercial revenues for the whole sport that we can reinvest into our development of sport in all the national federation and at the global stage. That is all for this point. And if you have any questions, please also type in the YouTube on the chat channel, and please specify at CEV when you type that question, so we know it's specifically related to CEV. And we'll figure out with George and Dennis to see whether we can already answer now, or we can address back to you on a separate system, for example, maybe email system, or through other webinar or seminar if CEV is planned to have it in the near future. But please rest assured that you will have all your answers answered. Okay, so feel free to type your question, and I would like to check the further question you just typed for now. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, everybody. Good to join you. First of all, I would like to tell to all ref delegates, thank you very much for your, in general, good work during this year. I believe also that your new responsibilities in relation to the pre-preparation of the events through Collaborate platform has been working good. I would like only to highlight 2 points. Of course, different formats in tournaments imply adjustments to the referee clinic program. So, however, always respect times when you do this adjustment. And if by any reason, which should not happen, but if by any reason you deal outside of the Collaborate, keep me in copy, okay? So let's now jump to our points and start with the report accuracy. One point that we have started from last year has been collecting video evidence from our tournaments in order that we can then share this experience with the referees, through our clinics, etc. Very important then, when you use the code in relation to this video evidence, you are very accurate with the code. Because otherwise, if we are looking to the video, first we have to, as you know, we have to download the video, then we have to look through the game and look for the point in reference that you have highlighted. And sometimes it happened that after all this job and after losing several minutes, eventually even hours, we could not find that point because that was not the right video. So let's make sure that in regards to this, we have an accurate reporting of the code. And you have an example here, and this is also published at the Ref Delegate manual. So if you have any doubt, you can double check there. Just make sure that we follow the right code. From now on, André Trottier will be in charge of clipping the videos, and then these videos will be uploaded at a repository where we can store all these things. For now, if you check Collaborate, I've created a new category where I've been uploading the video clips from this year. So if you want to check them, if you want to download them, you can use this tool. Still in this process that we started from last year, and which is in relation to the Referee Resources Center. Sorry, I went one ahead, which is the selection of the question of the week. Let's make sure that we are on the same tune for what we would like this question of the week to be. So this would be, from your point of view, when you select during your tournament, something that is outstanding and should be addressed through a question of the week to the referees through the Resources Center. This should be an outstanding case occurring during the tournament, even if it's an isolated case, which would be like normally in past times, would be like a casebook case. So if there is really an outstanding case which was extraordinary, we have it on tape, we can go and select the right video footage from it, then we can make a question of the week, and even we can make it also a casebook case for the future, accompanied by the relevant video. Other cases that could be a good question of the week would be cases that repeatedly occur during the tournament. Like, for instance, if you have like 7, 8 ball mark protocols, and among these 7 or 8 ball mark protocols, they are all very good, or on the contrary, you have like 3, 4 that should not have been implemented, then again, together with the video evidence, this would make a great question of the week for the referees to look at the videos and understand when they should have implemented the ball mark, or when they should not have implemented the ball mark. Other aspects could be inaccurate implementation of the pace of the game, could be other things that you see repeatedly occurring during your tournament. Ball handling, wrong criteria, whatever, for whichever area of ball handling, etc. And then another aspect that could do a good question of the week would be situations that in your discussions with the referees, at the referee clinic or at the daily meetings, alert you to the fact that maybe not every referee has the same interpretation or understanding about a certain rule, implementation criteria, etc. This could also make a very interesting question of the week, because we need to remember that these questions of the week are designed in a way that they help all the referees discussing the same point, thinking about that point, and then finding our guidance about how to deal with these aspects. Still in report accuracy, let us now go to some aspects in the report which should not occur. Like here is an example. You know that we have to update the photos according to the supply of the year. So according to the look of the uniform. So in this case, we see that this has not been done because we see referees with different uniforms from different years. It's not that they have refereed with these uniforms in that tournament, but it's that the uniform photo, the new photo with the referees with the correct uniform have never been taken or not been uploaded. So before you before you go to upload your BBV 41, just make sure that you fix these in advance. Another aspect would be like, for instance, we have a BBV 41, but we don't know the rating of the referees in this BB 41, and still it was uploaded like this. It should be checked before and then correctly uploaded. If you have any technical problem, first fix it. You can do it through me or through Bas, and then upload the right file. Okay? Still, aspects in relation to upload of files at Collaborate. The BB25, remember, the BB25 uploaded should be the one in Word format, not in PDF, because this is used for us to make summaries about the season, etc. So it's much easier if we have a template that we can easily maneuverate and work with it instead of a PDF. Another aspect, the BR4, so the R4 form that you distribute to the referees and the one that you upload at the Collaborate. Remember that the non-numeric R4, so the one without marks, as you can see at the top, example number 1, is the one that you distribute to the relevant referee. And the other one with the marks, which is the one you see below, identified with number 2 in green, this is the one that you post at Collaborate. At this time, we have, for several tournaments, we have no numeric version of the R4 posted at Collaborate, so it's very difficult to track down the ratings of these referees in those tournaments. Another thing which is really important is file name convention. You know, I have several examples here which you can see, and we have, for instance, the first one, BVV25 Summary Referee Delegate Report 2017-18 version 2, version 2.2. What tournament is this? No idea. I have to open the file to see for which tournament this report is. Another one, we have the same. We just have Itapema, okay, but it's not the correct file convention. At least we know which tournament this refers to. And then we have the other one below, BVV26, which, again, it's not the correct file convention, which, by the way, this one is automatically produced by the program, which is not the case here. So you see you have two good examples of file name convention as they are produced. One extra point in relation to this, Lara just went with you through the different file categories and the Collaborate and the Referee Delegate Hub at Collaborate. We have just created, please note that we have just created a new file category to be headed at the Referee Delegate Hub. And this is for you to upload the BVV24. So you will upload this in the project, in Collaborate, but you also will upload from now on the BVV24 in the Referee Delegate Hub. If we go, as I was speaking before about file name file name convention. So if we go to the different file name conventions that you can see here, or through the different files, you see that some of the files name is automatically generated by the referee assessment form. You have the BBB26 as it is generated there, daily, with the date of the day. You have the R4 with the marks. We have the R4 without the marks. And you have the BB41. All these, they are automatically generated. Other forms, as you know, need to be manually composed by the referee delegate, which is the BBB25 and the BBB24, etc. How can you manually compose the name convention? So you just need to extract the name convention from one of the above files, from one of the ones that are automatically generated for that same tournament, okay, which has the name automatically attributed, and then you adjust to the right date and the right code, if it is BB25 or 24 or 33, etc. So easy to do. Now, we have made an adjustment for this year. Nothing, in reality, nothing changes in the program, but it's just a slight detail. As you know, the code convention used to fill in the BBB26 at the referee assessment form, which then reflects at the R form, needs to be adapted, because before, in the R4 we have, for the different, for the 4 categories, we have now 1, 2, 3, and 4 instead of A, B, C, and D. So we have made this adjustment. So in the R4 and in the BBB26, when you fill in your comments for the day and then they come in the BBB26 out, instead of 1A, 1B, 1C, or 1D, for the area code, you will have now 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and then 1.4. And this reflects better and more correctly what is in the original R4. A slight, and not the only, because we will have to speak about the medical timeout, but up until now, the only adjustment at the regulations for 2018-2019 is something that we have already been doing, but now we have it reflected at the regulations. And this is in relation to the role of the coach assisting the teams in their warm-up. Just to make sure that this is clear from now, that where applicable and upon confirmation by the referee delegate, it is possible for the coaches to stay until immediately before the start of the coin toss. Okay, so it's not about 10 minutes, it's not about 6 minutes, it's not about 15 minutes. It depends, of course, on where we are, which competition is, and what match protocol we have. But wherever possible and applicable, so the coaches will be allowed to stay assisting teams in the warm-up until the start of the coin toss. So this reflects at the guidelines, and this reflects also at the official match protocol, which you can see here. So, point 17 of the refereeing guidelines, exceptional game interruptions, plus the medical injury protocol, will be now pending for decisions on the medical assistance regulations. As Leo spoke earlier today in his presentation, we have had decision approved at the FIVB World Congress to limit the medical timeout in beach volleyball to cases of bleeding, as the rule is being abused to provide for an extra timeout. This was the exact wording. So now we have to handle this situation. So at this stage, we will now discuss this in the upcoming FIVB Refereeing and Rules of the Game Commission, which will be next Wednesday, next week. We will restructure this in order to know how to deal with other injury situations other than the bleeding cases, and then we will come back to you. Obviously, this will imply technical delegates as well as referee delegates. One thing is important that we retain from this. It's regardless whatever we will find out as a regulation solution for this aspect, how to deal with other injuries. Medical requirements will really need to be enforced much more cautiously, because we need quicker response by the medical people assisting the players on the court, and we will need toilets available at easy and quick reach. So all these things will also have some effect in our job as technical delegates or referee delegates. I'm not in my right presentation here. Sorry for the interruption, little technical. Did I touch something? Hello, I'm back. Just a little information, quick information about new disciplines that we will be having, which in principle ref delegates and referees officiating at these two new disciplines will be originating from the beach volleyball quota, and I'm referring to beach volleyball 4 against 4 and snow volleyball 3 against 3. Regulations are being built for these, including score sheets and etc. One important point for your job as referee delegates, remember, you have normally all the updated documents and forms uploaded at the Collaborate, but you also have all these and more uploaded also at the Referee Delegate Hub at the Referee Resources Center. Remember that you should sign in the Referee Delegate Hub at the Referee Resources Center. You should implement the quizzes, the annual quizzes that we have there. We have a specific one for the referee delegates. You can also follow the ones for the elite intermediate level and for the average level. And question of the week, this, as I mentioned before, is a bit of ongoing discussion about cases and interpretations and applications, and it's very important that you also follow the question of the week in the right time as referee delegates. Finally, I would just answer two questions about referee for 1 and 2 star tournaments. One is about the criteria for assignments of referees at these tournaments. According to what is regulated, yes, there is a sequence. First choice is international referees, followed by international referee candidates, national beach volleyball referees. So this should be the criteria used, and this is double checked by us here at the FIVB. The other aspect is in relation to who coordinates the preparation arrangements for the tournaments. For sure, there is no ref delegate involved, so for sure this is the job of the technical delegate in coordination with the local referee manager. So this is all from me. Thank you. I will pass now to Jonas, who will make the presentation about the challenge system.
in relation to the challenge system. As you know, since introducing the challenge in 2015, the FIVB has made some changes in order to improve the process, and we have now reached a level which is running very smoothly. And in order for this, the role of the referee delegate is crucial. So we are now going to cover the role of the RD in preparation of the event, in preparation of the officials, and we're also going to touch base on the assignment policy. So as I said, the role of the RD in preparation of the event is crucial in order to have the right setup at the event to deliver a great performance regarding the challenge. So the main job is on the MyFIVB Collaborate platform. So there, the lead challenge referee will start communicating with the organizer in order to have all the resources we need on site. And this is also where the referee delegate should jump in and monitor the work. Most importantly, the referee delegate should check and evaluate the quota of the volunteers, especially regarding scorers and line judges. Remember, not many events use the challenge system, so wherever possible, we should have the best available line judges and scorer working with the system. For this, you can already check in the quota which scorers and line judges have worked in previous events. So if you have a new event or events with less experienced scorers and line judges, you need special attention during the clinic in order to prepare them for the challenge system. Also, remember, if using the challenge system, it's difficult to release scorers and line judges early, as you need more people on the various courts. Also, the referee delegate to check the conditions for the successful implementation. What do I mean by that? As Lara covered, there is the special section, the task called venue layout. And in the venue layout, the lead challenge referee will check out the requirements. In the venue layout, you can actually see where the challenge system or the challenge operation area will be located, and this is where you might have to take actions already before the event. So usually 2 months before the event, the lead challenge referee will have a look, might even ask for pictures, and then there you can evaluate if it's suitable or not. Also there, the lead challenge referee sometimes needs the support and assistance of the referee delegate to make things work. And also before the event, it's important to coordinate the referee clinic, which is dedicated to the challenge system, and the practical training session. We've also heard from Rahele that it has been accorded with Hawkeye that there is 2 rehearsal matches. So these 2 rehearsal matches, it's a full dress rehearsal where everybody is involved, and these are usually the last 2 matches on Friday. Usually the challenge is in place starting from Saturday towards the end of the tournament, but these 2 matches are full rehearsal matches, which means if TV is there, it has to be included. The teams playing should know that these are that the challenge is available, so everything is under normal conditions. We're now going to look at the requirements that we need. Again, this is happening on the My Collaborate. You will there see in the venue layout if the tournament is fulfilling the requirements. The operations area should be located with direct and unobscured line of sight to the court. As you can see on the picture on your right, in the red circle on the top left is where the operations area is located in Hamburg. From there you have a clear view on the court, and actually not a complete frontal but slight lateral view on the first referee. The view on the first referee is really important, as in a case of failure of the Vocero system, we still have an optical contact with the referee and you can still manage the situation. Also, there are some technical aspects. As you can see, there should be a space of 5 by 5 meters. 3 by 2 meters is for desk space. We need power supply, 4 chairs, suitable air conditioning system. This is more for the technical equipment up there. And cable internet, very important, and the integration with the big screen. This can be already seen in the venue layout, if an integration is possible or not. A very important point for the challenge referees working up there is that the restricted area access must be protected and guarantee privacy and confidentiality. We've had issues in the past where we have people walking in while we're working on a challenge case, which is very disturbing, and also for confidentiality issues, we should really have a private space. Another example regarding the requirements that you can see on the picture is on the top left. There is the windows where sun shines in. So just at the left of the red circle you can see a black wall which has been implemented during the event to prevent the sun from shining on the screens. So on the venue layout, these are things that you can see and anticipate. Then coordination on site. Also, this is happening before the arrival of the lead challenge referee. The referee delegate should check out the location of the challenge system operations area and evaluate if suitable. So you've done this on the MyCollaborate platform, but then when you arrive on site, you still have to have another check as things might change or look different on the real site. So we've had issues in the past where the referee delegate together with the technical delegate then took the necessary action and actually moved the whole operations area. So also there, please consider all the requirements, as we said, especially for privacy. Then the coordination of the personnel and the facilities for the training sessions, as discussed. It's your job for the referee delegate to coordinate the sessions, and especially to have the contact of Hawkeye, the entertainment, the volunteers that are involved in the training sessions, because we do not have the time to chase people when we are starting the sessions. So it's important that before the whole event starts, there is a coordination of the personnel. Another important point is the correct setup and configuration of the Vocero system. So remember, when the challenge system is in place, there is the Vocero system being used for the entire competition. So the Vocero system should be set up the first day for the entire competition. The configuration varies from the usual competition tournament to when the challenge system comes in, because there is more people, and the configuration might vary to listener. So the people cannot talk, but only listen. And also before the challenge referees arrive, the referee delegate should check with the relevant referee manager if the challenge referees have access to the areas. So we've had the situation before where the challenge referees could not access the operations area, which then obviously causes a problem. So you can anticipate this problem by checking the accreditations before. Upon arrival of the lead challenge referee, it's important to pass any relevant information regarding the operations area. Obviously, the lead challenge referee has followed the whole process on Collaborate, but if you change things, you should be informed about it as soon as on site. Also, you should pass any information and coordination of the practical clinic. We've had issues with some flight arrangements, so you should be aware when the lead challenge referee arrives, because he has to be part of the clinics of your daily referee meetings. Also, please pass any information regarding the TV meetings you've had. We've also had some surprises on site as some information went missing. So if you have any information from the TV meetings, please also pass them to the lead challenge referee and to Hawkeye. Also, if you have issues with the Vocero system, please let lead challenge referee know. As you know, you should be testing the Vocero system in the beginning of the tournament during the court inspection, and also there, please check if the PA unit is working fine. We've had the majority of the tournaments where we had interference with the sound, so in the end it was decided to use an additional microphone that was put on the referees, either a bug or an additional microphone. So the sound engineer on site was passing the extra microphone to the referees, which would be then put on the same side as the Vocero system. Also support the lead challenge referee in case of any marketing issues with challenge graphics. As you know, on the big wall we will have the challenge graphics, and the lead challenge referee will inspect them as soon as on site. We've had the case of sponsoring on the challenge graphics, so there you will be the contact for the lead challenge referee, and you or the technical delegate will then check with the FIVB if the slides are approved or not. And also, in order to have a smooth process, you have to inform the lead challenge referee about the referee assignments. Why? Because if we have a less experienced referee, we will put the most experienced challenge referee with this referee to prevent any issues. Again, now the role of the referee delegate in preparation of the officials, as this is also very crucial to deliver a good performance of the challenge system. Before we jump in the role of the referee delegate, I would like to have everybody on the same page, so we briefly go through the whole challenge request process. As you know, the challenge request will be started by a player using the C indicated the wish to challenge. As soon as identified by the referee will announce on the Vocero system challenge, 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 which bring the attention to the challenge referees and the scorers. Then the referee will clarify with the team the nature of the request, double checking with the actual signals, and then decide if it's legal, illegal, or late, and then followed by the official challenge signal towards the big screen. This is the moment where the challenge process actually starts. The referee will then announce internally the nature of the request to the challenge referee, to the assistant challenge referee, who makes sure the right graphics goes on the video wall, and also the scorer, which will then start to input the challenge in the e-score sheet using correct terminology. Also, this I would like you to emphasize with the referee, to use the correct terminology so we have the right challenge request in the system. Then the challenge referee together with Hawkeye will review the situation, take the decision, and it will go up on the video wall. After the video review, in case the graphic on the video wall does not give sufficient information, the first referee will give further information to the crowd under the lead of the challenge referee. That was a brief overview of the whole challenge process. I would like to now give you an insight in the preparation of the scorers, who are very important in the whole process. Many cases we had where things went wrong are actually due to a wrong insert in the e-score sheet. So on site, you have to coordinate the training session, so the time, the personnel, and the facility dedicated to the challenge system in relation to the scorers. In that particular dedicated clinic just for the challenge system, we would like you to emphasize that the scorers must understand if the challenge was at the end of a rally, interrupted the rally, was by a referee, or after a replay decision. We have a side change in the software that we're going to cover just in a few minutes. So why is this important? We've had a situation where the scorer did not assign the point and then went straight to the challenge situation, which in the end gives a wrong outcome and a wrong score, which has to be manually fixed. This is a huge delay in the game, and obviously we don't want this. So therefore it's important that the scorer understands and follows the game. So first, when the referee assigns the point, the scorer has to assign the point and only then focus on the challenge. As we said, the official process of the challenge only starts with the referee doing this signal. So the scorer still has enough time to assign the point and then follow what's going on with the challenge. Also, it's important that the scorer have a good workflow, not to create any problems and mix up things, as the challenge has various options and various outcomes. So they really have to know the process and the workflow of the software. So during the cleaning, we would like you to work through the basics, but also through the different possible scenarios. So a challenge that is interrupting the rally, a challenge by the referee, or a challenge after a replay decision. And also clarify the responsibility and the procedures on court. During the preparations of the scorers fills in the official e-score sheet of the match. So this is really important, as we had assistant scorers jumping in, reserve referees jumping in. So these are the roles, and this should be kept during the whole match. So the scorer fills in the official e-score sheet of the match. The assistant scorer fills in the paper e-score sheet of the match together with the FIVB 52. Also, this does not change. The reserve referee fills in a reserve version of the e-score sheet of the match at the parallel tablet together with the FIVB 51. And this is a clear layout that we cannot change. The reserve referee shall take the middle position in the table between the two scorers. So we'll have the e-score sheet and the paper score sheet separated or divided by the reserve referee sitting in the middle. Preparation of the referees. News on the e-score sheet software for the next season. We have now introduced the challenge request after a replay. We've realized that after a replay decision, the challenge, the e-score sheet would not give the right result out of the challenge. So now, as you can see, we have now on the bottom was a replay button. We'll make an example. If the outcome was a replay and then a team would challenge and have a successful challenge, the option would be invert score. So if the replay is at 4-4 and you would have a reverse score, the score then would be 5-3 instead of 5-4 in case of a successful challenge. So therefore, this is the main change and the really important change, that now after replay there is an extra button that has to be pushed. So during the preparation of the referees for the tournaments, this is what you have to highlight, and especially if they are the reserve referees, to take care of this situation at the scorers table. We've also realized that now with the slight change that we've made for the 2017-18 season, the referees double-checking the nature of the request made a huge progress and eliminated unnecessary debates on court and unclear situations. So the referees, before starting the process, need to be absolutely sure what the nature of the request is by a player. So if a player is doing a touch signal, we've had the case that they actually request for a touch on the defensive action, which is not legal. So in that case, the referee double checks and then realizes this and rejects the challenge. Another tricky part you have to cover during the preparation are late cases. This is still the most tricky part of challenge request. What has to be considered, or which are the indicators to evaluate if a case is late? Also there, we will prepare material for you to teach that, and the most important thing for the referees, if they have a doubt, they can double check with the challenge referee. The challenge referee will then go through the video sequence and double check if the request is legal or late. Also, we still have some illegal cases. Players still like to challenge attack it falls, or touch on defensive players, as we already covered. These are problems that we can eliminate if the referee, as I said, is double checking the nature. Also, the challenge referee might jump in and help in this case. We've had a challenge for a net fault, which then was revealed as a no fault, and then still the team challenged within the same action the fault being on the bottom part of the net. Also there, the challenge referee must jump in and tell the referee that this has already been checked. So the challenge referee will always check the whole action before putting up the video footage. So also there, the challenge referee should jump in and tell the referee to reject, as this is an illegal case. You cannot challenge twice the same action. Also very important is the use of correct terminology. The referees must use only the correct terminology, the correct terms, especially the word net fault. We still have often the word net touch, and a net touch is not a fault. As you know, there are various exceptions, so the net fault is very important. Also, net touch might confuse the challenge referee looking for a block touch if he only hears the touch. In order for you to run the preparations of the officials, we are still preparing some teaching material. What you already have is the FIVB challenge system regulations. All referees obviously must have profound knowledge of the regulations. There's also the casebook. In the casebook we have most of the cases that can happen covered, and also their consequences. What you also have is the e-score sheet instructions specifically dedicated to the challenge system. So there is the e-score sheet instruction, but also the part specific for the challenge system. All referees, but also all scorers, must exactly know what they do when handling the software. Currently, we're working on the video material. We have collected all challenge cases since introducing the challenge system, so it's a lot of video material to review. But we'll actually prepare a presentation for you that includes various scenarios and the most interesting cases that you can cover during the clinic with the referees. And also with the scorers, what to push which button in which case, so the 4 scenarios we covered before. What we're also working on is a standard program for the practical training, so when you reach the center court and you have a training session, you know exactly what to do. And with a standard program, you also have the videos for the video wall, basically for Hawkeye prepared, so they know which one to use for the video wall. Going to the last part, the assignment policy. As you've heard today, towards the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games, there will be around 5 events per season, even 6, with the challenge system available. During a tournament, there will be 10 up to 22 matches for the big events with the challenge system. So here you realize there is not many opportunities for the referees and for the scorers to be trained how to run the challenge system. So therefore, we have set up some assignment policy regarding the international match referees. For matches with the challenge system, the referee delegate should assign mainly the referees in preparation in the preparation program for the Olympic Games. As I said, there is very few opportunities, and at the Olympic Games we want the referee to be perfectly prepared and spot on. For this, we need you to assign the referees in the preparation whenever possible, whenever the challenge is available. When having the challenge system available, you should assign the less experienced referee, which means the referees which had not many opportunities to work with the challenge system, with an experienced second referee. So the second referee there can also help. Obviously, you will have the challenge referee also supporting, but the second referee can be a big help on court. If you give opportunities to the less experienced referees, you should do that in the early stages, so Friday for the full dress rehearsal matches or Saturday during the day. So when reaching the final stage, you should still use your best available officials. And this is also an important point. For matches with the challenge system, always assign a reserve referee. This means on Friday night, when you have the full dress rehearsal, you already have to assign two reserve referees. On Saturday means the whole day on center court you need a reserve referee, and as usual for the finals as well. Anticipate any issues with the quota before the event, which means if you have early release, please keep in mind that on Saturday you will need 3 referees per match on center court. We also have an assignment policy for scorers and line judges. Whenever having the challenge system, select only the best trained scorers and line judges. As you might know, for matches with the challenge system, the line judges have to take a different position from the usual position. They are a bit off the line. So we've realized that many of the line judges feel not very comfortable. We've also realized that some scorers feel a bit more pressure when operating the e-score sheet with the challenge. So during the tournament, you should already observe and collect information which scorers and line judges are the most suitable to work with the challenge system. An important point is profit from legacy. Use the volunteers, the line judges and scorers that already experience the challenge system. We have now 3 to 4 tournaments that have quite a lot of experience with the challenge system, but as you have seen in the calendar, there is also tournaments being added that have no experience with the challenge system. So you can also check there which line judges and scorers have worked in previous events or in other countries and actually have experience with the challenge system. Situations we've had already at various tournaments is that you have to respect the history, respect the tournaments. If you have long-time volunteers, you should still use them according to their abilities. So as you've heard, you still use the paper score sheet. So assign the long-time volunteers still on center court, still on final matches, but dedicate them to the paper score sheet and use the ones feeling comfortable with the e-score sheet for the challenge system. As we already said, keep enough volunteers around for matches with the challenge system, and as said in the first part, anticipate the problems already when you see the list and adapt the quota. So that was my part. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in, and we'll be back in a few minutes to answer your questions.
Hello again. Before to close this webinar meeting, I want to ask you to remember the words that our President Ari Graça said at the beginning of this meeting. And please remember that you will be the FIVB representative on site, and that you are there to help to the event to be the best event. Then, thank you for your participation in this meeting. I hope that all the communications, it was clear, that all the answers, it was already answered by the people from the beach department. And then, thank you very much for your participation, and act as one. Thank you.